The mysterious VINCA statuettes of the culture in Europe, evidence of extraterrestrial contact. This is on Blended Reality by Disclose TV. VINCA statues. They seem to confirm that ancient people were visited by extraterrestrials. If you look at them, they look as if they're wearing some kind of a helmet, and they certainly look as if they have very strange heads. In almost every ancient culture to have been unearthed and sufficiently studied by archaeologists and historians, there is an amazing running theme. Whether it's in ancient Egypt or in the ancient Sumerian culture or ancient Europe, each of these, or even of course Latin America, South America, North America, each of these ancient civilizations reveals artifacts and texts, monuments, which seem to indicate interaction with extraterrestrial beings. Not only do they have artifacts, but they also have legends of such encounters with humans. One such prominent example is the VINCA culture, VINCA. It existed around 7,000 BC, about 9,000 years ago, and spread across several European countries, including the Balkans and the north of Greece. The VINCA people were highly educated and advanced for their age that they lived in. Archaeologists have deduced that they developed a syllabic alphabetic language or a linear writing system. This is remarkable considering that they managed to achieve this mark of highly evolved society thousands of years before the great ancient civilizations of the Euphrates and ancient Egypt. In fact, for many experts on the subject, they are a complete historical anomaly. Recently, archaeologists investigating this mysterious ancient society have been carrying out extensive excavations of the land in the shadow of the Serbian city of Belgrade to find out more about these VINCA people. And to their astonishment, they discovered no less than 2,000 highly unusual figurines, which are completely distinct to the art of the neighboring cultures in the region. These statues, these figurines, have triangular-shaped faces, almond-shaped eyes, and very slight mouths and noses. Some of the figurines almost appeared to resemble animals such as grasshoppers, and some depict hybrid humanoids, which appear to be half human and half reptile. The appearance of these figurines is striking. Many depictions of extraterrestrials in ancient literature and art reference the same oval-shaped heads, enormous almond eyes with dark pupils and small noses and mouths. The heads of the VINCA figurines are also considerably out of proportion to the slight proportions of the body. And once again, this is a common descriptive in ancient texts describing the quote-unquote gods, the sky gods that descended from the skies. We even have testimony of the pharaoh of ancient Egypt, one of the pharaohs describing the arrival of the sky gods. This is in the Tully papers, the Tully papyrus, which was recently found. He describes how they descended, and he, as a pharaoh who's considered God among his people, was shaking in his shoes, shaking at the arrival of these sky gods, who he called the overlords of Egypt. And also one of the recent findings, the lentil on one of the between columns in the temple of Sethi in Abydos in Egypt has hieroglyphs of helicopters, jet airplanes, submarines, spacecraft, things. Most of these things we have in use today, and we know that they didn't have them in use. Well, we thought they didn't have them in use in ancient Egypt. Obviously, they did. Now, that pharaoh Nectanebo gave order for that temple not to be touched but to be maintained and in very good condition, because he stated that it's where the sky gods arrived, at that location, and that was to be revered on their account. So it seems like the overlords of ancient Egypt, of course, had such craft, and that they were flying from one place to the other, around the earth, and even interstellar, it seems. Now, the appearance of these highly revealed figurines in conjunction with the remarkable advancement of the VINCA society suggested to some people that these highly ancient people may well have been in contact with extraterrestrial beings. If the story of the VINCA people's interaction with these aliens is similar to other cultures around the world, then it's likely that they worshiped these aliens as gods who brought them the illumination required to evolve their society to a more enlightened state. Yes, this is what the Pharaoh of Egypt in the Tali Papyrus witnessed as well. Now, according to Wikipedia, the VINCA culture, known as the Turdas culture, Turdas Vincas culture, was a Neolithic archaeological culture in southeastern Europe, what is present-day Serbia, and also smaller parts of Bulgaria and Romania, particularly Transylvania. Now, in Romania, we know we have the Buceci Sphinx that is definitely, it looks like it was sculptured out of the side of a mountain. And it's found that that Sphinx has, that mountain has a cave inside that has some kind of an advanced holographic library of knowledge that is really advanced, and they believe that that has been established there, created there by extraterrestrials. They also claim that that Buceci cave, the underground tunnels lead to ancient Egypt. And we also know that there are ancient tunnels. They seem to have been pre-flood, that connect Scotland all the way to Europe, and from Europe all the way to Turkey, Asia Minor, and all the way to ancient Egypt. Why would they have tunnels leading from Scotland all the way to ancient Egypt? Was it to be a secret passages, or was it to be for safety? Was it to be for protection against some kind of an earth cataclysm or an impact event? Who knows? But these tunnels have recently been found as well. So, the Buceci Sphinx in Romania. We also have, of course, tons of very ancient pyramids that have been found throughout Europe. We even have the pyramids at the coast of Crimea. 7 pyramids there. Nobody's talking about those. Now, the name for this type of site is Vinca Belo Brod, BRDO, a large tell settlement discovered by Serbian archaeologist Miloje Vasic back in 1908. It represents the material remains of a prehistoric society, mainly distinguished by settlement pattern and ritual behavior. Farming technology was introduced to the region during the first temperate Neolithic, was developed further by the VINCA culture, fueling a population boom and producing some of the largest settlements in prehistoric Europe. These settlements maintained high degree of cultural uniformity through the long-distance exchange of ritual items, but were probably not politically unified. Various styles of zoomorphic and anthropomorphic figurines like Huma are hallmarks of the culture, as are the VINCA symbols, some have conjectured to be the earliest form of proto-writing, although not conventionally considered part of the Chalcolithic or Copper Age. The VINCA culture provides the earliest known example of copper metallurgy. The VINCA culture occupied region of southeastern Europe, the Balkans that is, corresponding mainly to modern-day Serbia with Kosovo, parts of Romania, Bulgaria, Bosnia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Greece. This region, already settled by farming societies of the first temperate Neolithic during VINCA period sustained a large population growth, led to the unprecedented level of settlement size and density, along with population of areas that were bypassed by earlier settlers. Early VINCA settlement population density was 50 to 200 people per hectare, and in later phases, an average of 50 to 100 people over a hectare was common. The Devostine site was occupied twice between 5000 BC to 4650 BC, and an estimate based on 17 houses suggests that given a lifespan per house of 56 years, 1,028 houses were built on the site during that period, with a final population size estimated between 900 to 2,800. So, chronology, the VINCA culture are debated. Before the advent of radiocarbon dating was thought on the basis of topological similarities that the VINCA and other Neolithic cultures belong to the dark burnished ware complex, were the product of migration from Anatolia and the Balkans. It had to be reassessed in light of radiocarbon datings, which showed that the dark burnished ware complex appeared at least a millennium before Troy I, the putative starting point of the Western migration. The decline of the VINCA network shifted from VINCA Belobroda to Varsak, the long-distance exchange of obsidian and spondylus artifacts from modern-day Hungary and the Aegean respectively became more important than that of the VINCA figures. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.